What is going on, my friends, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Now, in today's video, I wanted to just bring you a quick update on Polygon Matic. I think that we're finally starting to see enough structure to create a good idea of what are some good trades, some long trades, some short trades that we can be preparing for, as we have been in consolidation for the last about 5 weeks now. Now, again, I know this does look and sound pretty weird, but I am out on vacation in Mexico right now. I do not have a good camera nor a good microphone, so I am just doing what I can, right? But with that said, of course, let's go ahead, let's jump in, and I want to give you all the setup and the update on Polygon Matic. Now, the reason I haven't talked about Matic is recently in the last 2 weeks is just because it's been doing this, right? I mean, of course, there have been these small moves to the downside and the upside, but realistically, we've been just kind of sideways trading for about 5 weeks now. Now, some people have been discouraged by this, saying that Matic's dead, it's boring, it's a stable coin, etc., as they kind of do with everything, and I don't think that's the case, right? I mean, we saw some absolutely fantastic news in the last few months about Matic partnering with Disney and all these other fantastic companies that were bringing on Matic that, of course, did bring this strong pump. Now, a lot of the time after we do get a pump of this nature, we will usually see some type of fall or consolidation. If we see a fall, that kind of signifies that it was just a buy the rumor, sell the news type of event. But if we can go into some type of sideways consolidation, that is usually more of a sign that there was some type of value added to the asset inherently, and people are more willing to hold it for the long term. So this is a fantastic thing and isn't something to be discouraged about, in my opinion. Now, going forward, what I've been doing is just monitoring key levels of liquidity, key levels of resistance and support to create a range that is realistic, that tells us when we could be opening up some very big long trades or some very big short trades. And in today's video, I'm going to tell you exactly what I'm going to be doing when Matic does make a move so that you are prepared no matter what this thing does. Now, remember, my goal on this channel is to not tell you something has to happen. It has to go up, it has to go down. My whole goal here is to simply say, if it does this, I will do this. If it does this, I will do that. And what that does, it allows us to be prepared for any move that crypto makes so that we can see gains on the upside and the downside. So first and foremost, let's of course just talk about the bear scenario. Let's talk about if Matic breaks to the downside here. Let's say the market crashes, Bitcoin crashes to 15K, and we see Matic start to fall to the downside. In that situation, what would I be doing? Well, what we can see is that there has been a little bit of a flip recently, okay? Now, what you can see is that as we did get this strong bounce to the downside on that one really bad day back in May, whenever everything was going on with Luna and all that good stuff, where we saw Matic fall over 45% in one day. Now, when that happened, we got a strong wick right here and a bounce back to the upside, back up towards roughly, 75 cents, which is a strong psychological level. Now, off of that 75-cent level, we put in a level of liquidity. This is now a level of importance. And what you can see is that we are now finding support on top of this level of importance. So whenever you have something of this nature, whenever you have a level that is signified by liquidity, meaning people are buying it every time we touch it, it allows us to create it or establish it as a range. It creates itself as a level of, again, importance, and we can use that. So what I'm going to be doing is shorting Matic if at any given point we do lose the 75-cent level on the daily close. I need to see that daily candle close below 75 cents, and I will then start to open up a short trade to the downside. Now, do be aware, there is this little wick here. I don't think this is going to signify anything important, but you never know if maybe we get the daily close here, then we come right back down to 72 cents and see a bit of a bounce to the upside. But again, I do believe a daily close below 75 cents will signify the point in which we do really start to see some type of pull to the downside here. So if that, and if we do see that happen, the level in which I will be shorting Matic down to will kind of just depend, obviously, but I would say the range that will become extremely important is going to be this range between 65 cents roughly. Let's just make this red. And then we're going to see this other range, 65 cents to 61 cents, which will just kind of make a little bit of a box. Let's do it like that. Okay, so the reason I chose this level is because of the amount of liquidity that we can see here, right? Obviously, we consolidated and bounced sideways in it multiple times. We saw it hit resistance here, we saw it hit resistance here, and the moment we finally cleared this level, we went parabolic back to the upside. Now, if we do look at history, we can see that there is a lot of strong price action here. This was actually the point last year that we came all the way down to before eventually just parabolic growing to the upside. And so for that reason, this is a very strong level of support, and I do believe it would be difficult for us to just crash straight through it. But whenever you see so much liquidity at a level of this nature, it acts somewhat as a magnet so that once we do start falling, we will usually come down to it. Now, in the event I do open up a short trade, that will look like a gain of roughly, anywhere between 12 to up to 20%. I do trade on 2 to 2.5x leverage, so that could be anywhere from 20 to 30% in gains, and that is something I definitely would be taking on here on BitGet. Now, you guys know BitGet is an exchange I talk about every video because I genuinely believe they are the easiest exchange to long and short on leverage. Again, I don't recommend high leverage to anyone new to it, but they make it the easiest, as well as it is the best exchange in the world in terms of fees and promotions. You actually can use the link down below and you can get up to $4,000 in deposit bonuses, as well as the best trader that signs up with my link will receive $1,500 every single month. So go download that link, go check it out. Let me know what you think. Sign up and get to trading. But so in the sense of a downtrend, of course, again, I am going to be shorting towards this 65 to 61 cent level, expecting anywhere from 20 to 30% in gains, and that would be started once we do lose 75 cents on the daily close. Now, let's talk about what happens to the upside. What can we expect if the price starts to climb? Now, let's just get rid of all of this. And let's take a look at what happens if we start to break to the upside. Well, it's pretty clear, okay? What we can see is that $1.03 has a bunch of significance. Obviously, anything close to $1 is a strong psychological level. We know that $1 is that level everyone talks about, so obviously, it's important. Now, not only is it important in terms of just psychology, but we can see physically it's important as well. We've established support here. On this huge fall that we saw last year in the end of the summer, boom, where did we establish support? $1 before climbing to all-time highs. Whenever we were in this huge downtrend to the bottom side, where was our last level of support before the strong crash? $1. What did we hit as resistance on multiple occasions as we did start to see the Disney news? $1. And so for that reason, $1.03 is now going to serve as the level. It's going to serve as the goal. That's the obstacle. Can we get above it? Now, in a scenario in which we get above it, it kind of just depends on when it happens. But at this point, I am expecting a near immediate push up towards $1.13 for our Fibonacci 1.272 extension. That's just kind of what Matic usually does. And so for that reason, I see no reason as to why it can't do it again. And so if at any given point we clear, let's call it $1.05, I am going to be looking for that next push up to $1.13, which did serve as support on this previous wick right here, as well as a little bit of resistance back here. And so for that reason, if we do clear $1.05, the first thing I'm going to be doing is once we get the daily close there, I will be opening up a long trade, maybe on 2 to 2.5x leverage, expecting a 7% move to the upside, which does look like gains of anywhere from 14 to 17%. Now, I realistically do think it can go higher than 1.13. Our 1.618 Fibonacci extension is sitting right at 1.25 or $1.25, and I think that's pretty rational to say that if we're capable of breaking this $1.05 high, that we can come back and retest these previous levels of support and these lows from earlier this year. And so for that reason, again, I will be starting to close that position down at $1.13, but I actually might leave it open a little bit longer, expecting that possible push of nearly 17% up towards $1.25. Remember, the longer we stay in these points of consolidation, the longer we go sideways, the bigger the breakouts are. So if we break to the upside, it's going to be a strong breakout. If we break to the downside, it's going to be a strong breakout. And it is important that we make sure we are prepared for when that happens, because we're not going to have much time to react. It's usually going to happen very fast, kind of similar to what we saw back here, right? We went into a little bit of a sideways commotion. We crashed out to the bottom side, but when we broke up very fast. Okay, so for that reason, if we break $1.05, we are going to go ahead and get that long trade going here on BitGet to $1.13 first, but likely all the way up towards $1.25, in which we will start to take profits. Remember, if that does not happen and we do start to break to the downside and lose 75 cents on the daily short or on the daily close, we are going to short this thing all the way down between 66 and 61 cents for, again, another possible 20 to 30% gain. I do believe one way or another we can see anywhere from 20 to 30% in gains when Matic does break out, but it's just up to us to prepare for that, make sure we have the right stop losses and the right take profits in place, and all of that extra information will be available in my Patreon in the link down below. But overall, that's the update for Matic. That's what I'm looking for. I probably won't post too many videos on Matic until that does happen, because I don't want to keep updating you guys while we are in the same exact price range, but I do believe there are gains to be made, and I am preparing for both of these moves, so no matter what this thing does, I am ready. So for that being said, of course, course, that is going to be about it for today's video. Again, do not miss out on the opportunity to get up to $4,000 in deposit bonuses and $1,500 a month to the best trader in my community using the BitGet link down below. And with that said, that is going to be about it. I hope you guys did enjoy, and I will see you all next time. Peace.